The Diamond Beach in Iceland is world famous and an incredible place to visit. But what I didn't know until I got there was that the Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon was right behind it as well, which is equally impressive, and combined they make this little corner on Iceland's south coast one of my favourite places to visit in the country. There's something about the gloomy backdrop that gives the Diamond Beach its mystique. Earlier that day we had way too much gloom for our liking, but the weather cleared up just enough so that on arrival our first glimpse of the lagoon looked like this. And this is where we will start our day. Even if you're on the shoreline, you can see some of the amazing colours from the icebergs as they float around the lagoon. Way off in the distance is a glacier that I cannot pronounce, but I'll put in the description. It is this receding glacier that has created the lagoon. Each of these ice blocks were once part of the glacier and have since broken off and settled in the lagoon. There are two ways you can get out onto the water. We were on the boat tour, which is an amphibious vehicle that drives right up to the water and then glides out there effortlessly. And while the experience was nice and we did get reasonably close to the icebergs, I was so jealous of those that were on the kayak tours, because they were able to get right up against the icebergs and go much further into the lagoon than we did. But there was one thing they couldn't do.
Iceberg right ahead.
I think we can all agree that that was not worth it and that kayaking is the way to go if you are able. But if you are just after a nice relaxing time on the water, then the boat tour will still be a great experience. Now before we head over to the Diamond Beach, if you're enjoying this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This may be the dullest piece of footage on this whole video, but there's a reason that I'm showing you this. This small outlet that connects the lagoon and the ocean is the source of all of that ice that ends up on Diamond Beach. The chunks of ice in the lagoon get carried by the tides out to sea and then wash back up against the beach, and over time they start to break up. And that is what creates this beautiful array of ice that is broken up and scattered across the waterfront. On some days you'll have to walk further along the beach to find where the ice is settled, but once you're there, it feels like a playground. And some of the photo opportunities you'll have are unmatched anywhere else in the world. There are a couple of hazards to be aware of. First is obvious. Ice is slippery, so if you're going to stand on it, be careful. But the second is those waves. They can sneak up on you and that water is cold. The last thing you want is to trudge back down the beach with wet shoes. These are just two of the incredible natural wonders you'll find all over Iceland. Check out the video on screen for more from our Iceland road trip adventure.